Hi, I'm Lisa from Lori's Country Cottage. Welcome to How Tuesday. Today, I cleaned out my closet and found some clothes with snags, and I'm going to show you how to use snag needles and the snag magic. First up are the Clover snag repair needles. Each package has 2 needles, an extra fine one, and then one that's a little bit larger. But they're very similar in the fact that they have a rough burnished end, and that's going to help grab your little snags. So here's my brand new pair of pants with a snag. It's got a tiny one there and then a larger one here. So I'm going to do the big one first because that's going to be super easy. So my needle goes in, and now I'm at that kind of burnished end. And if you just kind of get your fabric to hang on to that burnished end, it'll pull it all the way through, and I can finish that from the inside. There we go. So little tail that. I'm going to catch that with this second one. Now this second little tail is really small, so I'm going to see if I can get both of those at the same time. I could choose to use the larger needle, but I think this is going to do the trick. So if you kind of help it get caught on the needle and pull it through. This one is already, that's just my tail hanging out. Just need to grab it from the inside. There we go. But why not give it a little help and use the needle. There we go. And if I wasn't doing this on camera, I would just turn this inside out and give it a pull. But let's just do it again. It's all the way through. There we go. So if I turn it to the other side and give it a little tug and pull those threads to the back, now my front is good, and I can feel that that thing has pulled all the way through. And so there it is on the front. Nothing there at all. Okay, so let me show you that one more time with something else. So let's do this one. I dug out my sweaters to find snags. All right, so here's my little tail, a little hard to see in the light. And I could certainly use the larger one for this. So I'm going to take that little tail, wrap it around the burnished end, and pull it through to the back. Let me grab the bigger one. Normally, this isn't my favorite snag tool, but I wanted to show you both of them. This works really good on jersey and stuff like those pants I just did. There we go. So now the tail's completely gone. But let me show you my second favorite snag tool. So this is Snag Magic. Inside the tube, there are 2 Snag Magic needles, and these are the ones I use all the time. There's 2 sizes. One has a really pointy end, one has a little bit more of a ball point. So I'm going to use the pointy-ended one because I'm going to use cotton right away. But here's how this one works. And as I said, this is my favorite. This is the one I use all the time. So here's a great big tail on my sweater. So I insert the needle where I want that thread to go down. And then I like to use my tweezers to grab the thread and pull it through the loop. This is actually big enough that I can use my fingers. But not left-handed. All right, let's try it again. So much easier when you're working on a flat surface without a camera over your head. There we go. All right. So there's my thread loop. Just gonna pull it through. All right, so now that tail's going through the loop. So when I pull that loop, the tail's pulled all the way to the back. And it's totally gone. But let me show you where I use it the most. When I'm doing my own machine quilting, I'll show you the other side first. And free motion quilting, we end up with long tails like this on our quilting. And we want to bury those tails. Now when I finish stitching, I do a wee bit of a wiggle to back stitch. So I don't tie a knot, but you do have the option of tying a simple overhand knot. And again, put my needle in right in that space. I'm gonna travel underneath the batting, but inside my quilt. So I'm not going out the back. I'm gonna go about an inch. Push my needle. Now when I'm here at the loop, grab those threads and pull them through the loop. And now when I pull my needle, it's gonna pull those threads in, give it a little yank, it'll snap your knot inside, and then you can trim that with scissors and your threads are safely buried. Now, if you have a thread cutter on your machine and you use it for your quilting, this will also do those little threads, and that's where those tweezers are especially nice. So just travel in between your layers. If you have dark threads on light fabric, you want to make sure that thread is not in between your top layer and your batting. You want it underneath the batting so that those threads don't show. So now here's my loop. I'm going to reach in with my tweezers, grab those little threads, make sure they come through the loop, and now I can pull them inside. And then I would just trim that with my scissors. So that's Snag Magic. And I love them. I use them all the time, and I store them in the tube. And then your other option are the Clover Snag Repair needles, and they work just as well. Well, my clothes are repaired, and my brand new pants are ready to wear again, thanks to the Snag Magic tool and the Snag Repair tool. I hope you'll try them out, especially Snag Magic for burying your threads. Thanks for joining me for How Tuesday.